What is up everybody, welcome back to another stock market video, and today we're just going to get straight into it and we're going to look at 4 stocks that I'm buying this October. The first stock that we're going to look into is HIMS, ticker symbol HIMS, and this is a telehealth play, and the number one reason why I'm buying into them is basically because of their growth. We can see here revenue forecast is 25% and the revenue has grown by 74% over the last year. And have a look at their stock price, it's grown over 12% in just 5 days alone. But if we go further out again, in the year to date, we can see that they topped out at about 24%. So if we come down to now, so it's about a decline of 65%. So looking at the 1 year chart, we can actually see that they are 19% lower than when they came out in IPO. Going over to their June 2021 investor presentation, we can see some slides here that show them that they've been growing, and this here is just to show that the telehealth section and the amount of people that they are seeing has grown quite a bit. From 2018, they had just under 500,000 people, and we can see it increasing right up to 3.4 million people around about Q1 2021. So this shows great growth. So again, with investor presentations, they're obviously going to show you the best numbers, so you just have to be careful about the information presented to you, because they're not going to give you the crap numbers. So the next couple of slides are actually really important, because this is to do with their financials, and here what I'm really looking at when I'm buying to this company that's already down by so much, over 50%, is that their revenues are increasing and growing, and this gives you an indication of the growth of the company and why you're actually paying for it. So I think right now, because it is down so low from its highs, that it is a very good time to be buying this now. I'm not buying it heavy, I'm just slowly accumulating, but I think it's a very good stock to get into. So the second stock I'm looking at is none other than NIO Inc. And have a look at here, it is currently $36.28. And we can see the year to date that it's actually down 32%. And if we back it off into a year, we can see the highs at about $60 odd to right now, and it's down by about 42%. So the thing you got to remember about NIO is that they're a relatively new company, and they were facing bankruptcy almost a couple of years ago. So look at the stock price just really shooting up, and now they've still got to execute on what's happening and their plans, and that doesn't take overnight. It takes a couple of years to build there, just like Tesla when they all started growing as well. You've got to give time, and the NIO share price has just moved up so quickly than what the company was doing that it was eventually going to go back. That's why at the highs I decided to sell and make a little bit of money, take some profits, because I knew it had to come back down because it was just so overvalued. But now I think that is a good price to start looking at the company again, around about this mid $30. So with NIO, I'm probably not going to buy any of the stock straight out anymore. I'm probably going to do some options play in the stock when I have the funds. So one of the best indicators for EV companies is actually their vehicle deliveries, because that's what drives the revenue and the sales, and also shows the progress that the company is making and their growth. Because they are not profitable, therefore it's a growth company, and people are basing the price on growth. If they weren't growing or they weren't delivering their cars anymore, the stock price would definitely go down. Now if they were making money, it'd be a totally different story. If the deliveries were down only a little bit but they were actually profitable and having earnings, positive earnings, then it wouldn't affect the share price, because they would know that the company has a lot of money. But because they're not profitable, the share price is going to affect it when the deliveries don't come through, because if the deliveries don't come through, it means less revenue, and then eventually if the company does that over a range of years, it will become bankrupt. So the basic slide here is just to show you that NIO has been ramping up their car deliveries, and you can see that the uptrend is still present here, which means that they're growing and they're selling their vehicles. So this is my personal spreadsheet, because I really like to track NIO, and I had a lot of money into them, so I wanted to make my own personal spreadsheets. But we can see in 2020 they delivered just less than 42,000 vehicles, and now in 2021 they are delivering at the moment over 80,000. Pretty much say that they're delivering over twice as many vehicles after 1 year, which is impressive growth. So as soon as that company is going to get a second factory out and built and get that going in a couple of years time, I think we're going to see this increased growth, and therefore that will show in their revenues and their earnings, and eventually the stock price will go up. And just comparing NIO to Tesla, NIO is about 13 times smaller than them, so they just need a bit of time to grow. They're not exactly a Tesla competitor right now, but they are going to grow in time, and they're also releasing the ET7 car soon, so that's going to drive more revenues and more growth. So the third stock I'm buying is actually 3 different companies that I'm looking into, and this is an eVTOL play. So eVTOL, if you don't know, is electric vehicle takeoff and landing, and they're not actually commercially out yet. They're all expected to be out in 2024 and 2025. So the first eVTOL play that I've been buying is ACHR, ticker symbol ACHR, and the current price is $7.33, and they're currently down. And if we just have a look at the year to date, we can see that they had this weird spike up to $16, and now they're actually down all the way. So if we just have a look at that spike all the way down, we can see that they're down by 57%. So the first question is, why am I buying 3 companies? And basically I can't make up my mind, and I'm only buying small lots slowly over time. So ACHR has this aircraft right here. Just remember, it is a drawing, it doesn't actually exist. They probably have a prototype, but who knows. But we can see here that the urban air taxis are gonna be in Los Angeles, so in the 2024, so in the far distant future. So really what I'm doing is I'm just putting some money into this, hoping that the company will actually make something of themselves in the future, buying in early and hopefully buying the stock at a good price. But it's very risky. Who knows what will happen? These guys could probably go bankrupt, or the technology isn't even real. So just got to be careful and just buy slowly into them in small amounts. So the second eVTOL play is called Blade Urban Air Mobility, and the ticker symbol is BLDE. Again, having a look at their share price, we can see that they ramped up because of all the hype and eventually have come back down again. The year to date, they're down by 9%, and if we have a look at their height, so they're actually down by over 45%. So I've only known about Blade recently, and they did dip down to $7 around here, so this would have been a perfect opportunity for me to buy. But now I've just got them on my radar to buy. I think $10 is a bit too much at the moment, so I'll wait for it to come down a little bit lower to buy some shares. So one of the reasons that caught my eye with Blade is that ARK Invest actually own a lot of them, and we can see here from this website, Kathy's ARK, which kind of tracks ARK Invest holdings. We can see that they have, how many shares here? They have 2.684 million shares, and their average price is roughly at about $8.70. Kathy has a lot of shares in this company. She obviously believes in it. I haven't actually checked if she has shares in the other companies that I'm looking at, but she really likes Blade and thinks they're going to go somewhere. So if someone is buying 2.6 million shares of this, I can at least buy a couple along the way. So here's just some footage now of the actual aircraft of it going. It looks pretty impressive, but still it's only a prototype. So the third eVTOL play right now is a company called LILM. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but it's ticker symbol LILM. So the current price right now is $8.89, and if we can just have a look at the year to date, there's a bit of an anomaly of the data of this one. It spiked all the way up to $23. I don't think that's real. I think that's just the stuff up in the graph. But anyway, if we go for 1 year, we can see they perked up a little bit, over about $13, and then now it's down again. So they started as a SPAC at $10, which is most what SPACs start at, is a $10 floor, and then after that they kind of hover up and down. So this one here is below $10, so it's probably a good buy to buy a couple of shares into it. I'm here on their webpage, and they're just showing off their vehicle. It looks actually quite impressive, and out of the 3 websites, it's quite nice to have all this graphics and to actually see it. And it looks like it's at prototype stage, and it looks pretty impressive just moving around like that. So over to a CNBC article, and we can see the aircraft here. Again, this is a long-term play on this here, and it's just still in prototypes, and this thing here is not expected until 2025. So a lot of things can happen then. I'm just going to slowly accumulate little bits of shares in this company and track them. It's actually pretty impressive that they can get this working commercially in 3 years. So who knows, it could be delays, but an exciting thing to read and look into. So the 4th stock that I'm looking to buy right now is going to be Tesla, and I know it's kind of really high at the moment, but I'm not going to buy it when it's on a high. I'm obviously going to wait till earnings. My prediction is that I think there is going to be a sell-off, so I'd like to see the stock drop, and then after that I would like to pick up some more shares, or sort of half a shares in Tesla. So one of the reasons why I'm looking at Tesla again and looking to buy at these levels on another dip is because I've got some spare money for Tesla, but also having a look at one of the YouTubers that I follow, which is his name is Chicken Genius Singapore, and he has a video out, and this video here has a his price target of Tesla for 2030, and we can see here that currently the price is around about $800 right now in in October 2021, and he has a bear case in 2030 of 4,100 per share and a bull case of 11,700. So his median price for the stock in 8 years time is basically going to be $6,900 per share, which is pretty crazy. But obviously he just didn't make this up on his own. There's some data. So what I'm going to do is there's actually a whole website with a bit of data involved and someone's thesis on how to get this pricing and why Tesla is valued this much. So what I'm going to do is I'll link that in the description so that you can have a read for yourself. It's pretty lengthy read. Have a look at it there, and really it's just someone's opinion, but this is pretty exciting that people are valuing Tesla at this high with all their growth income streams coming up. Tesla is also my second highest holding behind Tattooed Chef, but Tattooed Chef I use for options trading, so I might not always have a lot of the shares, but I'm still very bullish on Tesla. It's just that I think that I can make a little bit more money elsewhere instead of them. Well, that's enough for me today. Thank you for watching. The trading platform I use is Interactive Brokers, Hatch Invest, and Sharesies for individual companies, and I use Investnow for index funds. If you want to start your own investing journey and you're from New Zealand, feel free to use my referral links down below. Before you go, hit that like button to support the channel, and if you're interested in investing in my stock market journey, feel free to subscribe. So drop me a comment of any hot stocks that you're buying today. May the gains be with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.